All right, everybody, this is Frankie Abbruzzino, and this is the Uncensored Report. Today we're talking about cyber attacks, the cyber attack specifically like that of which occurred on Friday. It was a massive attack that hit America. Who was it? Nobody really knows. You know, the government will have us believe it's Russia working feverishly to do this, and in many ways it is. But we learned an important lesson about how vulnerable our system is, how vulnerable our internet truly is. You had these massive cyber attacks that came in waves. They knocked down some of the internet. Some of the biggest companies lost their sites: Amazon, Twitter, New York Times, Boston Globe, a bunch of businesses out there. These are prominent websites that were impacted by this attack. And as each month goes on, these attacks are becoming larger, more sophisticated. And unfortunately, most Americans aren't aware of this. They're not aware that nations such as Russia, China big time, and North Korea are feverishly out there trying to develop extremely advanced cyber attacking capabilities so that someday they could take down our internet. Can you imagine what it would be like if our internet was taken down for an extended amount of time? And they're doing this. CNBC reported that the primary target of the attacks came from a hosting company known as DYN. And they came in the amount of attacks from tens of millions. IP address simultaneously just hitting. You know, the denial service IP attack. These attacks are so big that the Department of Homeland Security is looking into them. They want to know what's happening. It's been reported that North Korea has been ruled out as a suspect, but nothing's been said about Russia or China. I can almost bet you they're going to blame Russia, just like they have on the other stuff with the DNC, but no proof is there. Countries such as Russia, North Korea, China, like I said, they've been working hard to come up with some kind of advanced cyber warfare capabilities. And this has been going on for years. I mean, we're talking about late 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009. For almost a decade, the Russians have been preparing. They've been preparing for the cyber war with the United States. And at some point, many analysts out there have believed that they were far better equipped than the United States when it came to cyber warfare, which is chilling. So it wouldn't seem too incredibly foolish to provoke Russia, our enemy, into a fight that we could not possibly win. But isn't that precisely what Barack Obama is doing? They threatened Russia with an unprecedented cyber attack. And then this occurs. I can't even begin to describe how foolish this is, folks. If you talk to people in the industry, you'll understand. Without a doubt, we could do some damage to Russia. I believe that, without a doubt. But the Russians believe that when they get hit by an enemy, that they should take it back, knock them down even harder. And just consider how important the internet is to us. Think about it. How intertwined and important it is to the U.S. economy. Do we really want to invite Russia to come in and attack us on our cybernet? Talk about the event that could crash the economy. What is there, like $1 trillion a day? Or a year, I think something like that. That $1 trillion a year will account for the internet economy, something like that. Without the internet, you got vast numbers of businesses out there, mine included. Mine's all internet business. I dial into servers, and I couldn't function. We couldn't function normally. Financial markets, they couldn't. A lot of businesses would be significantly impacted. And many experts believe out there that the Russians took down the Ukrainian power grid not too long back. You probably didn't hear about it. I don't think it was a major media, just an alternative media and international. So do we really want to invite them into a war, a cyber war? Do we want them to invite them into possibly attacking our grid? And anybody that believes our cyber grid is secure is mistaken, folks. I've done a few reports on these. It's not secure from attack physically or through the net. It just isn't. And an extended outage would potentially be life-threatening for millions of people out there. life-threatening. What about our banks, our financial systems? Do we want to invite Russians to shut them down? Do you have enough money if it is shut down to last a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a year without going into your bank to get money? You won't have that access if it's shut down. So it really is in our best interest to try to find and develop a better relationship with Russia versus the one we've been going down, which has been primarily driven by politics. It's all political in order, I believe, in order to get Hillary into that presidential chair. You know, think about it. Do we need this vendetta against the Russians? You just may, wake up one day and discover that there's been a significant cyber attack that has completely changed life in America overnight. When this happens, you won't be able to say you weren't warned. You can reflect that back on this report. Some information to think about. What are your thoughts? This has been Frankie with the Uncensored Report.